With Bennifer, look, it was a good experience, and I wish her and the children, who are smart and beautiful and wonderful, I wish them the very best.
That's it?
That's it.
You know, we became friends first, and then we developed this bond. We both understood where we were at that time in our lives, and we both knew nobody else understood exactly how we felt.
And then he leaves and goes to the bathroom for a second. And I'm just sitting there, you know, kind of just waiting, like on my phone, whatever. I text somebody, I'm with Alex. My girlfriend who knew him, I was like, guess who I'm with? Alex. Whatever.
She just is a deeply unpleasant person. J-Lo does not have a reputation for being a nice, normal person.
Word on the street is Ben Affleck just flipped his lid over some steamy texts between J-Lo and Arad. Turns out Bennifer 2.0 might not be as picture perfect as we thought. Stick around to hear the juicy details that have everyone talking. Rumor has it J-Lo's been playing with fire, texting her ex Arad behind Ben's back. When Ben found out, he reportedly lost it. We're talking full-on Hollywood meltdown, folks. Sources say he was yelling, throwing things the whole 9 yards. It's like a scene straight out of one of his movies, but this time it's real life. Now everyone's wondering if this is the end of Bennifer 2.0. Will they make it through this drama, or is it curtains for Hollywood's favorite on-again, off-again couple? Let's rewind and spill the tea on how Bennifer became a thing in the first place. Word on the street is their love story started way back in 2001, and it's been a wild ride ever since. So picture this, it's December 2001, and two of Hollywood's hottest stars meet on the set of a movie called Giggly. Yep, that's right, Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez crossed paths for the first time, and sparks were flying. But here's the kicker, J-Lo was married at the time. According to Ben himself, they hit it off as friends first. He spilled to Vanity Fair back in 2003, saying, "When I met her, we became really good friends. But at first, because she was married, there was no thought of a romantic relationship, but things started heating up real quick." By March 2002, Ben was already showing his love for J-Lo in a big way. Get this, he took out full-page ads in Hollywood magazines to gush about how amazing she was. Talk about wearing your heart on your sleeve. Then, boom, J-Lo gets divorced in July 2002, and suddenly Bennifer is born. These two lovebirds were everywhere, red carpets, music videos, you name it. Remember that Jenny from the Block video? Yeah, that was peak Bennifer right there. But wait, it gets better. In November 2002, Ben pops the question. J-Lo described it as this super romantic moment in Boston, with candles and rose petals everywhere. Ben even read her a handwritten letter about why he loved her. Swoon. Everyone thought they were headed for happily ever after. Ben was talking about starting a family, saying J-Lo was the only person I've ever met who made me entertain the thought of doing that, but then, plot twist, September 2003 rolls around, and they cancel their wedding just days before it's supposed to happen. They blamed it on too much media attention, saying, the spirit of what should have been the happiest day of our lives could be compromised. And just like that, it was over. By January 2004, Bennifer officially called it quits. J-Lo's people put out a statement asking for privacy during this difficult time. But the drama didn't stop there. Get this, just 4 months later, J-Lo married Marc Anthony. She even admitted later that Anthony came back into her life right after the Bennifer breakup and helped her through it. How did she move on so fast? Well, J-Lo's love life has been one wild ride. This girl's been through more men than I've had hot dinners. Let's take a stroll down memory lane and check out some of her most famous flames. Now, we all know about Bennifer, but what about the guy who came after? That's right, we're talking Marc Anthony. These two lovebirds met way back in '98, but they didn't tie the knot until 2004. J-Lo barely had time to wipe away her tears from the Bennifer breakup before she was walking down the aisle. But here's the juicy part, J-Lo spilled the beans in her book True Love that her split from Marc was a real wake-up call. She said it made her face her deepest insecurities. Now, you'd think having twins would keep these two together, right? Wrong. Emmy and Max came along in 2008, but by 2011, J-Lo and Marc were calling it quits. The world was shook. But wait, there's more. After Marc, J-Lo decided to spice things up with a younger man. Enter Casper Smart, her backup dancer. Yeah, you heard that right. This guy was 18 years younger than her. But the real story we're all dying to hear about is Rod. J-Lo and Alex Rodriguez started heating things up in 2017, and let me tell you, they were hot, hot, hot. These two were like Hollywood royalty, always looking picture perfect on the red carpet. Word on the street was that Rod was the real deal for J-Lo. She even said it was the most stable and secure relationship she'd ever been in. They got engaged in 2019, and everyone thought this was it. J-Lo had finally found her Prince Charming. Where did it all go wrong? COVID hit, and their wedding plans kept getting pushed back. Then, in early 2021, things started getting messy. Rumors were flying that Rod was getting cozy with some reality TV star. Next thing we know, J-Lo and Rod are telling everyone they're better as friends? Yeah, right, we've all heard that one before. But here's the thing, before the ink was even dry on their breakup statement, guess who came swooping back into J-Lo's life? That's right, none other than Ben Affleck himself. So now, back to where we started, Bennifer 2.0. But with all this Rod drama in the mix, no one expected what was going to happen next. Word on the street is Ben was spotted at J-Lo's place just 2 weeks after she ditched Rod. Sources say Ben was getting picked up by J-Lo's security and spending hours at her house. But here's where it gets really juicy. In July 2021, J-Lo decided to go Instagram official with Ben. And not just any old post, oh no. She dropped pics of them on a yacht for her birthday, looking all cozy and stuff. Ring any bells? Yep, it was like a throwback to that Jenny from the Block video. Now, you'd think people would be rolling their eyes at this whole situation, right? Wrong. Turns out everyone was loving it. It was like the early 2000s all over again, and fans were eating it up. One minute they're broken up, the next they're Hollywood's golden couple again. These two lovebirds didn't waste any time. By April 2022, they're engaged. J-Lo spilled the beans about how Ben popped the question at his place, super private, super romantic. Before anyone could even plan a proper wedding, these two go and elope in Vegas. And just when you think it can't get any more over the top, they throw a big fancy wedding at Ben's place in Georgia. Family, friends, the whole shebang. It's like they're trying to make up for lost time or something. Now, J-Lo's been gushing about their second chance at love. She told People magazine, "I feel so lucky and happy and proud to be with him. It's a beautiful love story that we got a second chance." She even said, "We're older now, we're smarter, we have more experience." When they first got together, their relationship was a hot topic, constantly splashed across tabloids and gossip columns. All that media frenzy, not so great for their love story. It basically was what broke them. When Bennifer 2.0 made a stunning comeback, they swore they'd keep things low-key. Privacy was the new black. They learned their lesson, right? Well, not quite. Despite their pact to keep their romance out of the spotlight, J-Lo couldn't resist sharing snippets of their love life on social media. She posted cozy selfies, birthday shout-outs, and even red carpet moments, giving fans a front-row seat to their rekindled romance. Ben, ever the romantic, even wrote a heartfelt book for Bennifer, pouring out his feelings in a deeply personal way. It was meant to be their secret, a testament to their love, away from the prying eyes of the world. But then, Bennifer couldn't help but share this intimate gesture with her millions of followers. She posted snippets of Ben's book on social media, gushing about his writing and how much it meant to her. Fans went wild, of course. But Ben wasn't exactly thrilled that their promise of privacy was shattered with a single post. So while they tried to keep things more private the second time around, it seems old habits die hard. But with all this lovey-dovey stuff, no one thought there was trouble brewing. I mean, one minute they're living their fairy tale, and the next, well, before we get into all this Ben Affleck drama, we need to talk about the elephant in the room, Rod. Turns out he might still be in the picture. Word on the street is that J-Lo and Rod might still be in touch. Yeah, you heard that right. According to some insider gossip, these two haven't completely cut ties. Apparently, J-Lo's been trying to reconnect with Rod. Some sources are saying J-Lo's been spotted without her wedding ring, and get this, she was allegedly trying to get Rod's attention. Now, you might be thinking, but what about Ben? Well, that's the million-dollar question. Rumor has it J-Lo's got a whole scheme cooked up. Rod's not sitting around waiting for J-Lo to come back, though he's moved on with some fitness instructor named Jacqueline Cordero. And get this, insiders are saying he feels like he dodged a bullet by not marrying J-Lo. But don't go thinking Arad's all innocent in this. He's been dropping some hints about J-Lo too. Apparently he said something about J-Lo being too controlling. He even admitted to cheating on her. And if you thought that was wild, just wait till you hear what Arad's supposedly thinking about J-Lo and Ben's marriage. According to insiders, he's been waiting for things with her and Ben to crash and burn. Sounds like there's still some bad blood there. So you thought the A-Rod drama was juicy? Well, you haven't seen nothing yet. Word on the street is that Ben Affleck stumbled upon some texts between J-Lo and Arad that blew this whole situation wide open. You won't believe what was in that text that changed everything. Rumor has it Ben caught her texting Arad late one night. Can you imagine? Here's Ben thinking everything's all good, and he sees his wife chatting it up with her ex. And it gets worse. According to some insider gossip, these weren't just any old texts, no, they were supposedly all lovey-dovey and flirty. Now, you might be wondering, how did Ben even find these texts? Well, here's the tea apparently. J-Lo left her phone out while she was in the shower, rookie mistake. Ben, being the curious cat he is, couldn't help but take a peek. Sources say Ben's reaction was something straight out of a Hollywood blockbuster. He reportedly lost it, yelling and throwing things around the house. Can you blame him? Finding out your wife's been texting her ex behind your back, that's got to sting. Word is J-Lo tried to play it cool at first. She allegedly told Ben it was just innocent catching up, but Ben wasn't buying it. He supposedly told her, "You can't have us both." Now, here's where it gets really wild. Some people are saying these texts weren't just recent, nope, they've supposedly been going on for months. J-Lo's been playing both sides this whole time. But don't go thinking Arad's all innocent in this either. According to the grapevine, he's been leading J-Lo on, sending her flirty messages and reminiscing about old times. The fallout from this text drama? It's been nuclear. Ben's reportedly packed his bags and moved out of their $61 million love nest. And get this, he's now shacked up in a $100,000 a month rental near his ex-wife Jennifer Garner. Now, you'd think these two would try to keep up appearances, right? Wrong. Their public outings have been more awkward than a middle school dance. At one of their kids' school plays, Ben was giving J-Lo the cold shoulder. They drove there together, but it was like they were strangers. And remember those cute red carpet moments? Yeah, those are history. Ben's been Mia from J-Lo's events lately. He skipped out on the Met Gala and was nowhere to be seen during her Atlas movie press tour. But the real kicker? The 2023 Grammys, that was a disaster. Ben looked like he'd rather be anywhere else. He was caught on camera looking all kinds of miserable, and people at home picked up on it real quick. It was like watching a train wreck in slow motion. J-Lo's been trying to play it cool, but sources say she's in denial about the whole thing. She's been putting on a brave face, but behind closed doors, it's a different story. Word is she's feeling pretty humiliated by the whole mess. Now, here's the million-dollar question: can Bennifer survive this drama? With Ben flipping out and J-Lo in damage control mode, it's not looking good. Word on the street is that celebs are taking sides too. Some are Team Ben, some are Team J-Lo, and others are just here for the drama. Meghan McCain had some choice words for J-Lo. She called her deeply unpleasant after J-Lo's appearance on The View. Apparently, J-Lo rolled up with an entourage bigger than Kim K's acting all. Now, here's where it gets really juicy. Turns out J-Lo's been leaning on her family during all this mess. Her mom and sisters have been her rock, and Ben? He's got his buddy Matt Damon in his corner. And Arad? He's feeling pretty smug about all this drama. Sources say he's kind of pleased to see J-Lo facing trouble after she ran off with Ben. So, what's the deal with Bennifer? Are they going to make it or not? Everyone's dying to know if this power couple can weather the storm or if they're done for good. Word on the street is things aren't looking too hot for Ben and J-Lo. Sources say they've been living separate lives since March, and they're trying to sell their $68 million Los Angeles pad, the same one they bought just a year ago. If that's not a sign of trouble, I don't know what is. Now, you'd think with all this drama they'd be avoiding each other like the plague, but get this, they're still showing up to family events together. An insider spilled they're trying to put the kids first. But don't be fooled, another source warned that things could get nasty real quick, especially when the lawyers get involved. J.Lo has been trying to keep it together, but she's struggling. She even canceled her summer tour to focus on family matters. In her own words, she was devastated and heartsick about it. The poor thing's probably trying to salvage what's left of her marriage. She's desperate to figure out how to handle this mess publicly. Can you blame her? A fourth failed marriage ain't a good look, even for a superstar like J.Lo. And Ben? Well, he's not exactly Mr. Sunshine either. Word is he feels like he made a huge mistake and was under a spell. That's got to sting J.Lo. But don't count J.Lo out just yet. She's still fighting to save this relationship, not just because she loves Ben, but also to save face. An insider spilled she's desperate to save the relationship, not just because she loves Ben, but also to avoid the embarrassment of a fourth failed marriage. So what's next for Bennifer? Will they patch things up or call it quits? Fans aren't sweating it, and honestly, they're a little tired too. One said, "At this point, I roll my eyes when she describes her relationships. She says the exact same thing about all of them at the beginning." Another went deep into it, saying, "The irony is that she says that her and Ben's new attempt was going to be private. And then she proceeded to use the second chance at love to get attention. She performed at her own wedding. She should have listened to Jane Fonda. She has broken every boundary the man put up. Insane to share the book he made for her showed him that there will never be privacy as long as he is near her. The real villain is the fact that her personality is dependent upon what relationship she is in." A third one joked, "Girl, this ain't the finale. We all waiting on the next man. Only time will tell, but one thing's for sure, this Hollywood love story is far from over." Stay tuned and watch this next video for more drama.